Hello,
welcome to our YouTube channel.
Christmas reminds us about love, hope, joy and happiness.
Indeed, it also reminds us about cookies, cakes, pastries, etc.
This Christmas, before you bake a cake, you may want to consider a few things.
In this video, we'll be talking about cake faults and their remedies.
So let's get started. Fault number 1, cracked top. This usually happens when the oven temperature is too high, which leads to crust formation while the cake is still rising. Other factors may include excess rising agents, excess flour and cake tin too small. To rectify this fault, choose the right size of cooking pan and check the oven temperature and follow the recipe precisely.
Sunken cake. This occurs when the oven temperature suddenly drops or when an ingredient is used in excess. To avoid this, always keep the temperature and the recipe in mind and be mindful of the ingredients. Resist the urge to peek at your cake before it's fully baked.
Next fault, sides of the cake crunchy or burnt. This happens when you leave the cake in the oven for too long. The other factors may include excess fat used to grease the pan, insufficient lining of cooking pan and unsuitable butter used for baking. The remedies include check the oven temperature, do not overbake, apply butter or flour or line your cooking pan sufficiently.
Our next fault is cake being stuck to the pan. This happens because the cake pan is not greased well. To avoid this, always grease the pan really well and let the cake sit and cool for a while.
Next fault, cake too dark. This happens due to high oven temperature, excess sugar and incorrect amount of liquid or water. To rectify this, check the oven temperature and follow the recipe precisely.
Our next fault is burnt top. This occurs due to a very high temperature or an improper amount of water or liquid. To remedy, always keep the recipe in mind and be mindful of the temperature.
Next fault, cake shiny and sticky. This happens due to very low temperature, improper baking time and excessive sugar. To rectify this, make sure your cakes are well baked, check the temperature of the oven and follow the recipe.
If the crust is too thick, it's because the cake was overbaked. To not do this, simply do not overbake.
Next fault, cake strings. This is because of use of excessive liquid, prolonged baking and improper mixing procedure. To rectify this, check the oven temperature, follow the recipe precisely, do not overbake and do not overmix the batter.
Our next fault is uneven cake rise, which occurs due to improper mixing of ingredients or the temperature not being proper. To ensure this not happening, always check the ingredients and keep the procedure in mind.
Now that you know the cake faults and the steps to rectify them,
the perfect cake is not too far away.
If you find this video useful, like, share
and subscribe. Stay informed, stay healthy.